All right, welcome to Mike on the Mics, our first episode. We're finally doing this.
Opening day, baby. Here
Opening
we go.
day. I love it. I love it. We've been talking about doing this for who knows how long at this point.
Months. We've had multiple reschedules, kids getting sick, you name it. But we're finally here. We're finally getting some crap out.
Yes,
I don't. Can we swear? Should we swear?
We can swear. I don't think.
Bit?
I mean, fuck it.
All right. All right. Cool. Fuck it. I appreciate that. All right. Anyways,
I think the wives are going to be extremely happy that we are finally not talking to them about this. But
yes.
Joke's on them because now they get to hear us not only talk about sports but talk about talking about sports and bothering them about our podcast and.
They're going to be forced to listen to multiple versions of these two and help us edit them, and they're going to be sick and tired of hearing our voices, but deal with it.
Amber, you better listen to these podcasts.
Yep. Megan, you too. Love you, babe.
they're not going to listen at all. I don't think they're going to listen. But that's okay. That's
all
okay.
right. As long as they maybe help us get some viewers and get some people on board, that would be great. But anyways, yeah, so this is going to be a judgment-free zone unless you're a Yankees fan or
Fuck the
Buckeyes
Yankees.
Buckeyes fan, then lots of judgment is going to be placed. But
yeah, we're not even going to talk about that. I don't even like saying that name.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
Unless you're talking about Joe DiMaggio or Mickey Mantle, then
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep, fair enough.
So let's see. Last weekend was the end of the football season.
Yeah, boo-hoo. But I think we were probably ready for...
Yeah, we had we took a tough loss for us to end, but as usual, every year, Amber and I host our annual Super Bowl party.
Yep, fantastic party.
It was a great one. I'm not gonna lie, I think this was one of the best ones we had.
Okay.
I won some money, Amber won some money, so I mean I can't really.
On 20 questions?
No, Amber had squares that she won, and then whatever that I don't even know what that game is called, that card game. Your Uncle Brian does it a lot. I don't even know how to explain it.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to think.
You take the last two numbers, you add them together at the first half and second half.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
We tried it for the first time. I thought it was great. It was a pretty big hit at the party.
Cool. Winning money is fun.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was probably better than the actual game itself.
Yes. Yeah, the game itself was a
boring.
bit of a snooze fest, unless you're a girl and you're an Usher fan, you took a shirt off. But other than that, yeah.
I mean, the game was boring all the way up to the last 7 minutes of regulation.
Yeah.
They finally.
Then it
finally made it exciting.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what else can you say? But just Mahomes doing Mahomes things. I mean, that's just what he does.
I mean, even the beginning, it could have been really exciting. There was turnovers happening, fumbles, but nobody was doing anything with it.
No, they weren't.
I mean, right off the bat, 49ers fumble the ball.
Yeah.
Chiefs get it, 3 and out.
Yep.
And they're done. Says, okay. And that happened a couple times throughout the game.
Right, or the Niners would drive, and then they would fumble the ball. Just weird things like that. Just, you know what it seems like? You know, they had 2 weeks off. I think they were rusty, right? Maybe. I mean, I think they were a little bit rusty, and it showed, especially the Niners offense. It was just clunky, and it was kind of clunky against the Lions until they picked it up in the second half. But it just never, their offense really never picked it up.
Well, I think they had 2 tough games against Green Bay and Detroit, and I think it really showed when you went and played the Chiefs.
Their defense is awesome. Their defense is awesome. And you know what? I don't know what you picked before the game. I picked the Niners to win. Who did you pick? The Chiefs?
I wanted the Chiefs.
You wanted the Chiefs? Okay.
I like Mahomes. I like the Chiefs. I don't care what they say about Taylor Swift and all that.
Are you a Swiftie?
I'm a Swiftie. I'll admit it.
All good.
But I do like the Chiefs. I thought the game did not go the way that I thought it was going to go. I really thought the Chiefs were going to kill them. I didn't think the 49ers stood a chance.
Okay.
Obviously, the Chiefs won, but
interesting.
A lot closer than I had expected the game to be.
Yeah, I thought the Niners. I didn't think they were going to blow them out because I thought the Chiefs' defense was too good. But I just thought the Niners were going to figure it out. They have so much firepower on offense. You know what I mean? But you look at Purdy, second-year quarterback. If you can attack him, you're going to have success against him.
The 49ers defense showed up.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did play
it was
well.
a defensive game. I mean, you say boring, but I mean the defense did
right.
what they were supposed to do, and that.
Just Mahomes does Mahomes things, and when you have the combination of Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame quarterback, and a stout defense, you really can't pick against that.
Mahomes he's like Brady. You can't bet against him.
No.
You can't bet against Mahomes. He's going to come in and get it done.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, he's outstanding. Miles, my son, is a huge fan, and before I really started,
he was rocking the Mahomes jersey.
Oh yeah,
at the party, he was rocking it.
And you know what? He appreciates greatness. I mean, I got to give him credit. I started watching Mahomes a little bit more this year, and the dude didn't really have a good, his team was good, obviously, but on the offensive side of the ball, they didn't have a lot besides Kelsey and Pacheco. And
I mean, I still don't think they have, but they're pulling. They got rid of Tyreek Hill,
right?
And they won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, they still managed to. Yeah, it's just when you have that firepower, with a quarterback, you can't bet against it ever.
What do you think about the 49ers in the overtime? I mean, I thought it was kind of hilarious hearing what they had to say, not knowing the rules.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that can happen.
Right. Yeah, that was surprising to hear them, and a lot of them came out and admitted that. And I think it just goes to show you the inexperience with the Niners compared to the Chiefs. The Chiefs were prepared for that. You know what I mean? Andy Reid got those guys.
Well, the 49ers were taking a lot of flack for taking the ball. But if you watch all these videos and the mic'd up moments from the Chiefs, they were going to take the ball as well.
Yeah.
I understand. I don't blame them for taking it. I understand.
No,
they wanted to see if the other team was going to match them, and then they would know what to do.
Right. There's so many scenarios that can play out because also, too, you could also argue, for the Chiefs, okay, if the Niners score a touchdown and then the Chiefs get the ball, okay, if they score a touchdown, then you figure they're just going to go for 2. But it didn't play out like that. I think the Niners kicked a field goal, right, and then the Chiefs just drove right down the field because that's what Mahomes does. But I understand.
It was his time to shine.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
what
he
did. He
did.
clicked it into gear and okay, enough's enough. You guys kicked a field goal, I'm going to make you pay, and that's what he did. So, the last few minutes of the game, the overtime was awesome. The last few minutes of the regulation was good. The beginning of the game was a bit clunky, but overall, good Super Bowl.
I completely agree. I think overall, it ended up being a good game with the overtime. Yep. Forget about the first half and stuff. It all came down to the ending of the game.
Yep.
The one thing about Super Bowl Sunday, though, is Amber and I host this party every single year. I've been doing it before I even met my wife.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What was different about this year is normally I wake up on Sundays, Super Bowl Sunday, and is extremely excited about it. Having all my friends over. Yeah. We're having a big party. We always have a ton of people. We have great food, all that stuff. This year was very underwhelming, and I think it's because this close.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was this close to Detroit being in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And so getting ready for the house, cleaning the house, getting the food set up, I wasn't as pumped up as in the past because of the fact that we could have been here.
Right. We were the Lions were a 4th down conversion away, or Gibbs not fumbling the ball, or just, you know what I mean? Just a couple of plays away from being in that game. And I know we had a lot of us at the party after a couple pops. We're all discussing, oh man, the Lions can beat both of these teams, and we don't really know that. You know what I mean?
It's so easy to say that. Yeah, if Kansas City would have came out and played exactly how they played against the 49ers, sure, the Lions would have had it. But you have no idea. We have no idea if they would have won. But
if the Lions would have clunked out too, or just, but I think we need to, as Lions fans, take a step back and just kind of look at the season as a whole. I'm like, wow, this was a really, really good season. This was
let's be honest,
really even a really good season. This was an awesome season, and this was a foundation building type of season that's gonna, I think, project us well into the future.
I completely agree, and let's be honest about it. This was the best season in our lifetime, in my lifetime.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, even back in 32 years ago, 91, when they went, I was 6 years old.
Right.
I don't remember. I don't even know if I was watching football.
Right.
I might have been, but I don't remember it.
Yep. All I remember from that is my uncles put together a home video of their experience from that game, the 91 season, 92 playoff win. And a lot of, I don't know if I can comment on a lot what happened on that bus, but anyways, no, it looked like a good time, but this season was.
This is
special.
Now a mature rating podcast if he continues to go any further.
Yeah, But no, it looked like they had a good time. But no, this season, I think.
It was complete unfamiliar feelings all season long.
Yeah.
From
for sure.
the way that we started to even
That's a good
when
point.
the middle of the season when we kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
We were a little worried,
Yeah.
but we still ended up coming out on top, winning the division. The whole season was just unfamiliar.
Yeah.
I woke up every Sunday super excited
Yeah.
to watch the game.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. They were a fun team to watch. They played well on all phases. I know defensively, defensive, as far as the pass rush and the, trying to stop the pass, like they really struggled there on times. But I think overall the team was a joy to watch, and
it was so much fun. And we got to go down to Tampa Bay and go to that game, and that was so much fun. We took over that stadium.
Yeah. I was shocked at the reception there and just how many Lions fans we were tailgating with down.
You would have thought it was a home game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The videos afterwards that we have of the concourse of everybody, let's go Lions, let's go. I mean, that was just absolutely amazing to see.
I 100% agree. It was a special season, and I think that they're headed for, we're going to be seeing them in this position quite often, I think, and I think they're going to get there. I really do.
I mean, we did a lot of good throughout the season. How do you think that we did during the playoffs?
Oh, playoffs! I thought
they might have been the best team throughout the playoffs.
They might have been, yeah.
Minus some obviously mistakes, and we didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but man, we looked good.
Yeah, they looked great. Other than maybe a few quarters, especially in the NFC Championship game, I thought that they played well, and they did what they've done all season, and that was, for the most part, control the game. You know what I mean? They control the game. They used the running game to their advantage. They made key third down conversions. I don't know how many times this season they would have like a 3rd and 7, and they'd run the ball and get it. You know what I mean? They'd hand the ball to Gibbs. And
it's not a running play, but yet here we go, Montgomery or Gibbs, or even the end arounds.
Yeah.
To St. Brown or JMO, and just come up and get the first down. It was huge.
Yeah, they showed me a lot this year, and I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, can't ask for a better season, really.
Do you blame Campbell for any of the regular season or playoffs, more of the playoffs, but for any of those going for it? I mean, are you mad?
No.
Do you blame him for anything?
No, and that's who he is. That's who he's been all year. That's what's gotten him here. His players have confidence in him because of that. Sure, over time, he's going to collect his own data, right? And then he might, down the line, alter some of his decisions based on what he's experienced. He's still a young coach.
I completely agree. I don't blame him for anything. He is who he is. This is what it is. I think we have to get on board as fans. I also think in the future, as we draft or sign whoever that may be and become a better team, we may not have to take those risks.
Right.
Because the other side of the ball will
be
be able to
out, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be set more, and we won't have to go for all those fourth down conversions.
Sure. Yeah, their defense is pretty inexperienced. I think I tallied it up. Their starters, it's like 24, 25 years old on average. You know what I mean? That's young. They're a young team, and they're gonna get so much better on defense. How many rookies were playing? Rookies or second year, third year guys are playing on that defense. I mean, almost all of them.
All the rookies did well.
But yeah, exactly.
I think every rookie they
all showed flashes of greatness.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for the young players. You want to see some flashes. They're going to have their moments, and I think Jack Campbell might have had a few more, but he's playing a tough.
We'll need to see a little bit more out of him next year, but I still think he had some really good plays throughout the year.
Sure.
But it's easy to look at Jack Campbell like, oh, you should have did more when you have Gibbs doing what he did. Mm-hmm. You had Laporta, amazing season.
He's getting compared to
Branch did well, even though Branch was hurt for part of the season.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to shine a spotlight on Campbell because he wasn't maybe as explosive or stood out as much as the other rookies did.
Yeah, he's playing a tough position. He's playing, he's playing that middle linebacker type of position, off ball linebacker or whatever, and he's got a lot of responsibilities out there. And the one thing he does show is athleticism and quickness. He's got a lot of speed, and I think that will help. He's going to have to get better in his pass coverage and stuff, but he can get after it. And maybe they're going to alter his role a little bit. Maybe he's going to be more of a pass rusher. Maybe he's going to be like that type of disruptor. Who knows?
Well, especially if they're going to keep Anzalone on this team.
Yeah,
I
think they need to.
When we were coming into the season, I did not think that Anzalone was going to be a linebacker that was going to be with us for the long haul.
Right, yeah.
But I think after this season, I think we may be looking at him staying here for a lot longer. Mm-hmm. Maybe him and Campbell both back there together.
I like that.
So those two working together, I think this defense can – I mean, we definitely need help. There goes the mic.
Mike.
One of the mics is down.
I always got to roll with it.
Okay, so who's your MVP for the Lions of the season?
That one's a tough one because there's so many guys you can. There's really not a wrong answer, but I have to go Jared Goff because if you don't have him, if he gets hurt, I mean, what are they? They don't make the playoffs.
Goff was top. I think all his numbers, all in all, he was top 5 quarterback.
Yeah,
on the season.
Yeah.
Oh, I completely agree with that.
Especially in the playoffs, he was amazing. Who do you think? And you could say Goff too, but
no, I mean I think Goff is a great choice to pick. I think after what we saw, I got to go with Laporta. What he did, breaking all these tight end records, his first season in, and seeing what our future could hold with Laporta. That he's my MVP. I think we not expected, but we kind of expected Goff to do what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And definitely, I mean, he's our quarterback. He's my quarterback moving forward. I want him here. Yep. But Laporta is who I'm going to go with for my MVP.
Laporta was absolutely outstanding. When you watch him play, you're like, okay, this guy's been playing for 4 or 5 years. But no, he's a rookie. You know what I mean? He fit the part. He played hard. I don't know how many tackles he would break. Excellent hands, coming up with the big catches, always knowing where to be. You couldn't ask for anything more. I think you can also argue somebody on the offensive line. When that offensive line was together, Goff was a different quarterback. He was a Pro Bowl.
There were some games where Goff had all day long.
Yep.
They were not getting to him. And that's what Goff needs. He's that type of quarterback. That's what he needs. He's not a scrambler.
No.
If he starts getting pressure or has to scramble, unfortunately, that play is probably dead.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen. He's either gonna get sacked, he's gonna try to run it, or he's gonna throw it away. And but that's fine.
Yeah.
Because our offensive line was able to hold their own. I mean, we were a number 1 offensive line.
Yeah, that's the heart and soul of the team. Really, because that opens up the holes in the running game. I mean, the running game was outstanding this year. I mean, you could argue Gibbs too, Montgomery.
First 2 backs to have 1,000 yards from scrimmage in NFL history.
Is it really? Wow.
That's huge.
That's balance too. I mean, that's what you want, right? Because you got the guy Montgomery who runs off tackle in the middle, and then you got Gibbs who's fantastic on the outside. You know what I mean? You got the perfect blend, and then a receiver, Amon-Ra. He is just. I have a man crush on him. I'm not gonna lie, and
Brian Branch. That's my boy. Brian Branch.
Branch he's gonna get even better too. But Amon-Ra, I mean, he is so underrated. Tough as nails, warrior. I mean, comes up with the big catches. Will fight for those extra yards.
Keep him here. Keep him here. Do not get rid of him. Not that I think they will.
I think that's an interesting point. I mean, you got all these guys due to being re-signed here soon. I mean, like, give me 2 or 3 guys. Give me 3 guys that it's a part of these last couple draft classes that need to stay on this team. Give me 3. Who do you think? Because more than likely you can't keep all these guys.
No.
That's
they're all. If they continue to play the way they are, they're going to want to get paid, and I don't blame them. And we're not going to be able to.
Right.
Laporta, he's here.
Yeah.
And I think think Gibbs is here.
Okay. All right.
As of right now, I would say Branch. Those three rookies.
Yep.
But I don't want to count Campbell out yet.
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know what he's going to do.
Okay.
Right? So I got those two guys on offense, and then right now, Branch.
Okay.
For my rookies.
Great picks.
I do want to talk about Goff some more because he probably is about to get paid. But before we get into that, I really want to know, we went 32 years since we made it to the NFC Championship.
Yep.
We get 2 home playoff games. Mm-hmm. You got to go to both games.
Yes.
At Ford Field. Yep. You got it. Come on, tell me about it. What was it? It must have been amazing.
First, I got to give a shout out to my future in-laws, Brian and Lori, for taking us. They have season tickets. A fantastic experience. Man, it's really hard to put it into words. First of all, I would say that we went the first game against the Rams. There was the whole stigma with the Stafford thing. You know what I mean? That's kind of in the back of your mind.
He's off the team. Bye.
I know.
Bye.
That's in your mind, and you're kind of thinking like, oh my. I was nervous for that game because the Rams are damn good. Puka Nacua, I saw him in person. He's fantastic. But
he killed us.
Yeah. But as far as like the atmosphere, like the stadium we got there like 2.5 hours early. It was buzzing already. I mean, there's a buzz and
just around the city. I could only imagine.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was cold as hell that day. I mean, I was layered up. But so it wasn't not a lot going on outside, but inside the stadium, buzz, tons of people. Not hardly any Rams fans, which was good. But everybody was really cool. It was not like a back in the Silverdome days where you just had a bunch of drunks just getting into fights. It's not like that anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, people kind of get loud and obnoxious a little bit, but
the city was ready for these playoffs.
Yes, 100%, and they deserved it. And I think the Lions fans were absolutely outstanding. I mean, that stadium was rocking from the start. It was an amazing experience. And, the Lions, this new regime, this new organization, they've really put an emphasis on the experience. Just the pregame stuff, getting the crowd hyped up, the little things that they do in between plays. It's just... I used to go to Ford Field when it first opened, and then throughout the years I would go and I'm like, man, this place is boring. You know what I mean? It just has this warehouse type of feel, but it doesn't feel like that anymore.
Well, we had nothing to really root for.
Yeah.
I mean, there was really nothing there. The product on the field was not good.
Never. Right. So there was just no energy, and I think that's all it is. It's the energy.
I mean, you hear in the press conferences of Holmes and Campbell and how much the fans actually help. And I always wondered, right, do the fans actually do anything, right, with the other team? And I think you really saw it
100%, yeah.
This playoffs with the Lions. The fans
100%.
stepped up. I mean, the other teams couldn't hear anything. I mean,
yeah.
Before the Buccaneers came in here, Baker Mayfield reached out to a couple of his buddies that were on the Rams, and they said it was the loudest place that they've ever played at.
Yeah. Yeah, that stadium was just absolutely rocking. It was the fans absolutely made a difference in these games. If we would have had that NFC title game at home, there's no doubt in my mind we would have had the advantage, you know what I mean, and probably won that game just for that sheer fact. It was awesome. Awesome experience. That first game was amazing, and then after winning the end of that game was weird because the Lions had the ball. I don't know if you remember. The Lions had the ball, and I remember somebody in front of us said, okay, the Lions got to get 2 first downs here, and we're good. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the clock. There's like 4 minutes left on the clock or something like that. And the Rams luckily only had one timeout. I think they burned a couple. One was probably due to the crowd, you know what I mean, causing that. And sure enough, they got those 2 first downs, and everybody starts cheering. And I'm looking, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, no, we haven't won this game yet. There's still less than 2 minutes left. And I'm like, then it hit me.
You start doing the math in your head,
I'm like,
and we got it. Yeah,
I'm like, holy shit.
We were at our neighbor's house for that first playoff game, and I was out in the garage with the neighbor, and they had Dan Miller on the radio, which happened to be ahead of the TV inside.
Oh wow!
And
nice.
we were out there when St. Brown catches that pass, and I come storming through the house, cheering, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" I knock over a chair.
I can see it in the future.
I knock over a chair. I look like an idiot at my neighbor's house, and they're like, "What's going on?" And then it happens on TV, and everybody just erupts in this house. And
that's awesome.
It was so hard to control the feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell this. during the NFC Championship, we score our first touchdown, hooting and hollering. They go and score the second touchdown. I'm so excited. We have people over the house. We're screaming and yelling. I grab Amber from behind in excitement and start choking her. She's like, "You're choking me. You're choking me. You're choking me." I was just so excited. Almost took my own wife out because I was so happy about the Lions. I was like, I thought we had it.
But when she regained consciousness, she started cheering too, I would hope, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I've actually never seen Amber so into a football game
Oh, really?
during the NFC Championship.
That's how Megan got. Megan was getting into it too with these games, and she's really gotten attached to this team. This team is very likable, and it's really, really cool to see. Starts with the coach. You know what I mean? It's just it's awesome.
So, with everything that happened this year, are we talking? Are we at Super Bowl or bust?
Yeah, I think.
Are we at that point?
I think you are. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you kind of have to be, right? I mean, you can't come in here next year and
Yep.
lay a dud and get knocked out in the first round. I mean,
100%.
we're gonna pay Goff. He's gonna be our quarterback.
Yep.
I saw Boomer Esiason came out today, said projecting Goff to get 4 years, $200 million.
Oh wow.
So $50 million a year. I don't know how much is guaranteed, whatever, but
Yeah,
that's huge.
that's a big deal. But,
He's only making 27.5 right now.
Is that what he's at? Yeah. I mean, that's the going rate. He's a Pro Bowl level quarterback. He just won you 2 playoff games from a team that hasn't won one since, you know what I mean?
But that's not going to be everything we need. So look into the future of next year.
Right.
I mean, this year, successful across the board. Feelings we never had.
Right.
Best season of my life. Best season of your life.
Yep.
What do we need to get over the hump next year and get to New Orleans next year?
Well, you know, I think that the team just needed the experience, really. I think if you took the same team and put it on next year, I don't think they make these same mistakes. That's what really costed them, in my opinion, was just the mistakes that Gibbs hasn't had that issue with the fumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Campbell might handle some of these situations a little bit differently. Amon-Ra had a drop. It's just, I think the inexperience of the pressure of the situation got up to them, and I think they are resilient enough that once it comes around again, they're not going to make that same mistake.
Yeah.
They do need help.
We do. And I'm saying defense.
Yeah, I agree.
We have to. And my thought is we have to go after a defensive lineman.
Yes.
I don't know if that's going to be in the draft or in free agency.
Yeah.
There's a couple big names out there in the free agency. I don't know if the Lions are going to spend the money. We have $60 million cap space
Yeah.
going into next year. That's huge.
Yeah, they're set up pretty well.
But I think we have to go after a defensive lineman, get somebody there, because I think it will help our corners, right? Because everyone's secondary. But if we can get Hutchinson a friend
Yeah.
to help, if he can get a playmate out there,
Right.
the corners, the secondary, won't have to go so long and try to, stop a play. If we can get to the quarterback a little quicker. So I think we go big name or, somebody out of the draft, and then you follow with a corner after that.
Yeah.
I also think we need another receiver
Yep.
to help St. Brown. I think we have to expect J-Mo to get a little bit more playing time next year, or a little bit more receptions.
Yep.
But I think we need another receiver.
Yep.
And then I also think we got to get a kicker. I mean, we do. And I was looking at the schedule.
About that. You're absolutely right.
We need a kicker. I don't care where
you're
you get a kicker,
absolutely
but you need someone that you can rely on. Out of the 14 out of the 17 games next year are indoor.
Oh, are they? Oh, wow.
The 2 outdoor is you got 1 in Green Bay, 1 in Chicago, and I think we go to San Francisco next year.
Right.
So those are your 3 outdoor games. Other ones are indoors. That means no wind.
Yeah.
No weather that's messing with you.
Sure.
We need a kicker that we can
Count on it, can make the
yeah. Don't go spend a ton of money, but maybe you find somebody that we can trust to get the job done.
Maybe you draft one in the 6th or 7th round. I think that's when the Niners drafted Moody. And what did he boot? He booted a 55-yarder. Wasn't that a record at the time for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't anticipate the Lions making any big free agent like splash this year. They seem to be like they're gonna add depth guys. It just seems like from what I've seen from Holmes since he's been here, they are going to add some depth free agency wise, and then they're gonna build in the draft. So defensive lineman 100% agree, either interior or another edge guy. I think that'll probably be their first pick.
I think it kind of has to be
Yeah.
at this point. Because I agree. I don't think we're going to go out like Chris Jones from Kansas City. He's available. I don't think we're going to go pay him.
Yeah.
He's going to want a lot of money.
Oh, for sure.
And he's great.
Yeah.
Plus, why would you leave Kansas City? You keep winning.
Right, yeah.
So I don't think we're going to do that. So Aiden, he needs a friend.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think there are some good guys coming out into the draft this year,
Yeah.
which we'll get into our whole draft podcast down the road. But
Sure, yep. It's fun not, as a Lions fan. Usually, like we're excited for the draft by like week 6, but I haven't even really given it much thought. You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
no, we just get to enjoy this amazing season.
Yeah,
but I agree. I think we're going. It's Super Bowl or bust next year.
Yep.
New Orleans is where we're headed,
Awesome. Okay.
and
That's your spot too.
I love that city.
Yeah, you might have to go. Might have to book your plane tickets now.
You know, Amber and I talked about that, but then what about the Super Bowl party? We can't pass up the Super Bowl party. I want to enjoy all of it with all of you guys.
Well, somebody's gonna have to hit the lotto then, and then buy.
And then we all go.
everybody's plane
Everybody, we can all go down. And hey, maybe we all plan a trip to New Orleans,
tickets. Sounds great to me.
and we just have our party down
I
there.
want some jambalaya.
We may not be able to afford to go to the game,
Yeah.
but we can all go party in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street and watch the Lions.
That sounds great to me. I'm down. Let's book it now.
That's it. Super Bowl or bust.
Yep.
That's where we're at.
Yep. All right, you want to wrap up this first episode?
Yeah, I think that's all we got for this first episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it and you tuned back in.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was okay.
It was pretty fun. I mean, for the first podcast ever, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous about it.
You know what?
I'm probably gonna hate hearing my voice, but it's okay.
These Coors Lights help a little bit too.
Yes, they do for sure.
But thanks everybody for listening.
All right, everybody, have a great night.
Thanks, guys.